G'day, Margarita here, and today we're going to be using emotional freedom technique to focus on unconditional love. Now, just before I get started, I do this in most of my videos these days. Please, I apologize for that quite annoying hissing sound in the background. We're in the middle of the Australian summer and I live right near the bush, and we have the cicadas right through summer, and they can get quite intense at times, and I know they're a little bit annoying, but unfortunately there's not an awful lot I can do about it, unfortunately. But today we're going to be focusing on unconditional love. Now, loving yourself, we hear this so often, you must love yourself and all this kind of stuff, but what does that really mean? Well, love is actually the very essence of who we are. It is the core of our being, is pure unconditional love. And it underpins everything. The level of love that we accept within ourselves will dictate our self-worth, our relationships with others, the level of success that we have. Our health and well-being will be affected by whether we love ourselves or we don't. And we're not taught to love ourselves unconditionally. We beat ourselves up and tell ourselves that we have to be better and that we're not lovable. And this defines our relationships on so many levels. Our relationship to everything is defined by our lack or our fulfillment of loving ourselves. So what I'm going to be doing today is using emotional freedom technique just to inch you further forward to loving yourself unconditionally. Now, I know it sounds like this almost unachievable goal, because unconditional love is something that, we rarely experience in our lives. Even our parents will seemingly withdraw their love from us if we do something that doesn't please them. Now, if that's the kind of example that we grow up with, and that's what we believe, that even our parents can't love us unconditionally, how can we possibly love ourselves unconditionally? Now, the other thing I will point out is here that I do use God sometimes in some of my sequences, my EFT sequences, and I know that this can put people off because the word God has a really negative connotation for some people. And if that is the way it is for you, then please just substitute the word God, because for me personally, I see God, the divine source, universe, higher consciousness, universal energy. I see all that as the same entity. We are an extension of whatever that is. And if the word God really puts you off, then I do apologize. But please, just don't take it as in a religious context. Just substitute whatever works for you. So what I'm going to do is get you to rate this particular phrase. There's a phrase I'm going to say in a minute on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being that it's not true for you, and 10 being that it's really the most true it could possibly be for you. So the phrase is, I love myself and my life deeply and completely. Okay, now obviously with this particular phrase, with most EFT phrases, what we want to do is bring the rating down. With this one, we want to bring it up to as close to a 10, if not a 10, if we can. So what I want you to do is start on the karate chop point and then repeat after me. Even though there is no way I can imagine loving myself unconditionally, because I don't believe I deserve it, I profoundly accept who I am and how I feel. Even though I don't deserve to be loved unconditionally, because I haven't earned it, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I can't possibly love myself unconditionally, because I've done too many bad things in my life, and I don't deserve it. I profoundly accept how I feel about who I am right now. Okay, now starting with the eyebrow point and just tapping along with me. I can't possibly love myself unconditionally. I don't deserve it. I've made some really bad mistakes. I've even hurt some people along the way. So I don't deserve to be loved just as I am right now. I'm not even sure unconditional love exists. Even my parents couldn't love me unconditionally. If I did something they weren't happy with, they withdrew their love. If my parents can't love me unconditionally, how can I love myself unconditionally? I've just stuffed up too many times. And I'm really not that lovable. There's no way anybody is ever going to love me unconditionally. Because I just don't deserve it. Only people who are perfect in every way deserve to be loved unconditionally. And I do not deserve unconditional love. Because it really has to be earned. And I am not good enough for unconditional love. Not even by me. That's just some unimaginable fairy tale. Being loved unconditionally doesn't even exist. At least that's what I've been taught. I don't deserve to be loved unconditionally. And I can't even imagine loving myself unconditionally. Okay, take a breath and release it. Awesome. Okay, now I want you to rate that statement that we said before. I love my life and myself deeply and completely. Or you can say, I unconditionally love myself and my life. And just rate that statement on a scale of 0 to 10 again. Now, I'm not going to ask you to bring it up to a particular point before we do the positive tapping around, because I don't think that will be the best way to work with this particular issue. What I want you to do is move straight onto the tapping round, and to probably do more of the positive tapping round than the negative tapping round this time. Okay, so let's start on the karate chop point again and just repeating after me. Even though I still can't imagine loving myself unconditionally, I choose to be open to loving myself just a little bit more. Even though I still feel like I don't deserve unconditional love, I choose to open my heart just that little bit and let more love in. Even though I still feel like I haven't earned unconditional love, and I'll never be good enough, I choose to open my heart to letting more love in and loving myself just a little bit more. Okay, now starting on the inside of the eye and just repeating after me. I still don't feel like I've earned unconditional love. Because it's got to be earned. But maybe I've been a bit too hard on myself. What if I could just open my heart to a little bit more love? and love myself just a bit more than I do right now? And what if I could open it just a little bit more? And a little bit more. I choose to open my heart to love just a bit more. God loves me unconditionally. So why can't I love myself unconditionally? Nobody's perfect. And I'm actually a pretty good person. What if I could love myself unconditionally, even though I'm not perfect? I don't have to earn God's love. So why am I making myself earn my own love? That just doesn't make sense. I choose to be open to loving myself a lot more. I choose to opening my heart to more and more love. And as I feel more love for myself, I feel more love for others too. I choose to know I don't need to earn unconditional love. I choose to know I am unconditional love. I choose to love all of me no matter what. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter who I am. I deserve unconditional love. I choose to open my heart to loving myself a lot more. I choose to open myself to being loved no matter what. I choose to know I am lovable. And I deserve unconditional love. I love knowing that I don't have to earn love. And open my heart to unconditionally loving myself no matter what. Okay, take a breath and release it. Now go back and rate that statement. I love myself and my life deeply and completely. Now I encourage you to do this particular set of phrases on a regular basis, because it's going to help you to edge closer and closer and closer to that space of unconditional love. We have spent so many years beating ourselves up, not feeling worthy of unconditional love or of love in many different forms, that it's going to take a little while to really open up your heart and to realize that you are the essence of love. It is everything that you are. It is at the very core of your being. And once you get in touch with that, it is such a special feeling. And so if you do this tapping on a really regular basis, you're going to find that becomes more and more a part of who you are, and it will transform your relationship with yourself, it will transform your success, it will transform your relationships with others and so many other parts of your life. So that's it for me for today. Take care and happy tapping.